The forthcoming feature presentation is a recording done on Friday the 23rd of July 2021 at the LANABALLI Primary and Nursery School, highlighting issues currently confronting residents of the area. We are focused on having solutions speedily to this situation.
This is the state at the LANABALLI Primary School and Health Center that it is in. Try to spray, but this is the state that it is in. Grass and bush. That's the teacher's quarter, the school, and the health center.
The preceding videos were taken before officials arrived recently at the LANABALLI Primary School venue to effect the delivery of the We Care cash grant. So now we'll head into our feature presentation.
Well, greetings to you viewers. I'm yours truly, Edward Anthony Posada. We're reporting live from LANABALLI, and we're at the LANABALLI Nursery School. We're in Region 3. It's Friday the 23rd. We're at approximately 23 minutes after 3. Now we are taking a look at some freshly cut vegetation around the area, which is clearly a sign that this was recently done. And I was made to understand that this was done owing to the fact of the cash grant, and officials had visited here. Now that's one issue now, right? Added to that, this location where the primary school has been abandoned, it hasn't been cleaned. We are being made to understand that the light, we are having some problem with the solar light there. And added to that, now we are taking a look at the guard hut here, the vegetation that is around it. The water is out, but I was made to understand that whenever there's high tide, water would come to this location. Now this is the condition of the guard hut. I would say no more. We are also to be made to understand that this contraption here that is looking as a water well hasn't been functioning for the past 4 years. Further, I was made to understand that whenever during that 4-year period that there's dry weather, it's a lot of discomfort where accessing water is concerned. So these here are the issues. Also too, I was made to understand that no NIS has been paid on behalf of the workers here that are functioning as a security. Now this is LANABALLI, an area now that I'm being made to understand that has sort of been left by itself by the powers that be. Well, we continue with more reports and information relatively to the situation here. In our forefront there is the teachers' quarters, and we are here looking at the back of the health center location on the LANABALLI area. Now, we're being made to understand further that this area for the longest while has been without a qualified or properly trained teacher for longest while. And added to that, there are claims and there are reports now being had indicating that for somehow and some reason, whenever personnel would come to this or be in the process to take up positions here, there are some differences and issues that would result in them desisting from such. So for the longest while, the LANABALLI Nursery and Primary School has been without a qualified teacher. When I say qualified, I say Potter trained, or moreover qualified in its essence for that position of a teacher at the LANABALLI Nursery and Primary School. Now, further, what this news outfit is being made to understand is that there are 3 personnel here who are not qualified, and it happens to be from the same house, the same family. And that is an issue now that relevant authorities and the powers that be would need to look into this situation here. Now, LANABALLI, it's way off from Bartica. It's actually half the distance between Bartica and Perica. And owing to the geographic layout, I would want to suspect that this area, as we can see, has been placed at the back, so to speak. But the situation as it is, if we are going to focus on the education and, our younger generation, this news outfit is calling for a qualified teacher to be at this location here. Facilities are already in place. I've just indicated to you the living quarters. And also too, there hasn't been a transportation or transportation means provided for the students to come to this nursery school. Aleki and other areas that are nearby, I was just made to understand, has boats and engines and such like to facilitate this. Or moreover, the children coming to school and going home whenever the need arises. Now, one more issue before we head to other areas within the vicinity of this location, the LANABALLI Nursery and Primary School. Now, I'm being made to understand that the security for the longest while has been receiving $56,000 a month, around $56,000. Now, I've seen the Minister of Labour visited other locations much farther up here from here, Winnipiro and other areas where there were work-related issues in regards to working condition. Now, we're highlighting this working condition here and also to the pay, right? Now, I've been made to understand that money has been deducted for the past 3 to 4 years and no NIS was paid where it was supposed to pay for these people, the security. So, what is happening here now is that they have been told that they are going to be continue receiving the $56,000 with this new company that is in charge of security here. But they were told that they would have to be on a type of probation where they said they will see how they are working, then before they could consider an increase in pay. So, Honorable Minister of Labour, here's the situation, security. The security workers are crying out, and they are crying out from the LANABALLI Primary School location. Now, before I could safely say, well, we're going to cover the area of security, obviously in our forefront we need a guard hut. It's low, water is around. I can just imagine the mosquito-borne diseases and such like here. So these are the conditions that persons are working on. I'm seeing that plastic bag there, and it's clearly indicated now that those are attempts now that persons are taking to protect themselves against and from the weather conditions in this guard hut. And as you can note, the area, everything is concealed or locked up. There is no toilet facilities around or available for the security personnel. And it's disheartening and sad to note and understand now that they would have to use the other or the bush to do what they have to do. This is not good at all. Now, before one more other issue, it's all raising here. Now, we were made to understand that there is a PTA and a body that is governing the administration of this location where the school is concerned. Now, allocations of funds towards maintenance to this school, the difference now that is arising between the PTA, parents, and the teachers is that no accountability is being provided for funds that would come, let us say, for cleaning and other such like. There is no accountability. Nobody knows what is happening to the money, practically and directly speaking. They're not having any accountability of finances allocated to this school for maintenance and such like, from the teacher that is in charge here to the PTA of this LANABALLI Nursery and Primary School. Still reporting from the LANABALLI location. Now we are taking a look at the CD fence that is here. It's in dire need for reinforcement and whatever works that are needed to prevent further erosion at this particular location. So we would now head out to meet with the residents that are living nearby this location. Well, a pleasant good afternoon to you, sir. First of all, my name is Edward Anthony Passad, the producer of G News. G News simply meaning giving you the genuine genesis. We are here at LANABALLI and we are with Mr. What's your name, sir? Avinash. And you are the chairman for? Right. Yeah. Chairman for what?
LANABALLI Primary School.
The PTA?
Yeah, the PTA.
Now, Avinash,
Yeah.
Tell us, moreover, let us get to understand what really is happening at the primary school. I went there now and I could see the place was freshly cleaned up, grass and stuff like that was cleaned up there now. And, you know, I wanted you to tell us, you know, what's really happening in that area now as it is and more. Let me hear something from you, Tal.
Well, concerning the cleaning, the maintenance for the compound, is parents always just have to go and clean the compound.
Self-help?
Self-help, yes. That's right. And I asked for, let me get somebody for clean the compound, let the ministry pay them for clean the compound, somebody from the same area here. And I didn't get an answer for that up to now.
Who you asked?
I asked the acting head.
The acting head?
Mr.
Now, tell me something. Doesn't the ministry facilitate funds, you know, let us say monies now from within the budget finance for this to be done?
They just provide some poison for spray the compound, right? And the parents just got to go and do the self-help. But when you go to do the self-help, now only a few parents are starting up to do the self-help, and the rest who come after you just end up going to do the same set of work. So only one part of the compound does the cleaning all the time.
All right.
So that's why most of the compound is in bush, just around the school and a little part off.
So just pesticide and stuff that's coming?
Yeah, no, it's like gramazone and glyphosate poison, grass poison.
Nothing else don't come, let us say like monies or stuff like that from the ministry for the maintenance of the school?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay then. All right. Now, I was made to understand too that there is a teacher there, yes, but then again, is she qualified?
I don't think she's qualified enough to teach.
How long she's been there?
For years.
Years.
She doesn't know for years.
And
really glad for a head teacher there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they gone. When we live in here, it's very hard to send a children out road school, and they ain't taking back secondary there. No, but they say they ain't got a qualification to teach secondary. So really glad for a head teacher who could teach secondary.
Okay. How much children you have, like average students, like in here?
We have started about 34 students going to the school.
Okay. Now, Avinash, another area that we looked at, there is a well there, and I was made to understand that for some time now this well is not functioning. You know anything about that?
Yeah, the solar system at the top, the control box for the system damage.
For how long? About 4 years now?
A little, yeah, about that. And no water coming. And if you do get a little water, so you can't use it to do nothing. It's clumsy.
Okay. Now, one more thing. Areas that are near here, I know we have Itabali that's that way. All the other areas now, how they managing children traveling from home to school and then from school to home?
Well, Alki, Saksakali, they got both donated both to carry children to school, but we don't have the in LANABALLI and Bishop Valley. We got to provide our own transportation for them.
So who donate these both to Alaki and the other areas?
Yeah, maybe the main to show is who.
Okay, but they do have a
They
transport.
have both an engine.
Okay, that is the school boat.
Yeah, there's a community boat and just for carry children to school.
A community boat.
Yeah,
Okay.
carry children to school.
All right. So with the PTA, you know, the PTA never discussed this, you know, particularly the transportation for the students.
I hear we would get one, but I never see it up to now.
From where you hear?
I just hear that at the meeting, the head teacher say that, and we never get it. It's just like a word about something we get, and that is it.
All right. I've been asking the question, is there anything else you'd like to tell us and let us know what's happening relative to the school at LANABALLI?
Well, that should be it, but we're really glad to get a head teacher for the school.
Okay.
We really appreciate that.
Qualified teacher. Okay, Avinash, thank you. Sir. Now, there are some issues now that I'm being made to understand. The chairman has indicated to me, but he has directed me now to this young lady here, who is the chairman. Sorry, the treasurer. Now, tell us what's happening now. You mentioned now something about money being taken out from the treasury.
We have to take out like 8,000 to go and purchase grants. I have no idea what that's about, but that's what the acting head teacher just told me to write down in the records. And about what my brother said, we just have to take out the money from the PTA to pay to clean the school compound.
Or to whoever would be cleaning the school compound.
Yeah. About 2 months, right?
Yeah, two trips now.
Okay. Now, tell us more, Avinash, about this. You were saying now that most of the work for the longest while with generation to generation, you know it a person doing self-help.
Self-help, yeah, that's right. But from the day I elect as chairman, I try to change that, but and I tell the acting head that, and she ain't give me back a word on it. Let me try to get somebody for do the work paid by the ministry, and somebody come to the community could get a job, and we ain't gotta go do nothing.
Right.
Because we pay enough taxpaying money for get things done in the community. We ain't getting no benefit after we taxpaying money. And nothing at all. We gotta provide everything for ourselves in here. And still we gotta go and clean compound too as well.
Now there's some reluctance to go on camera with this. What I'm being made to understand now is that from the head teacher of this location, that's the LANABALLI Nursery School, whenever there are questions or confrontations to issues, the individual would use threats that she is the one that is looking after the welfare of education, moreover, of the students. And kind of threats and intimidation, and it's a real ugly situation that I would like now the powers that be, who are now privy of this, to come on the ground themselves and conduct their investigation relatively for the sake of the children, which are our future, and the generation to come. Okay, Avinash, now tell us, how the cash grant, the recent activity, the school it went, and how you feel about it.
Well, I'm very happy for it. It's coming real useful for the children. You could buy tablets, anything for educational for the children. I really thank it. Coming real good use to me.
And use this opportunity, because I'm advocating, I'm saying now that you need a visit from the relevant personnel, but I need you to say something personal. You need persons to come here and see what's going on.
I'm glad if they could come down and let me get the parents them together, have a meeting and discuss the matter with them.
Okay. Well, we are still at the LANABALLI location, and we are in the midst of what's your name, sir?
Balaram.
Balaram from LANABALLI. Now, Balaram, tell us in your own words what's really happening at this location, at this school, and the limitations now with regards to the teachers and such like.
We want a good head teacher. Head teacher. This girl what we got here, she ain't got no qualification. She ain't got any more subject. So we really need one good teacher for common teacher journalists.
All right.
It's about past 15 to 20 years and we never get ahead in this school. Especially two sons teach in the school.
Okay.
So we need somebody who, know, can learn them something. You gotta get up 4 o'clock morning. We are farming, some farming here. So it's cook for you and children. Then you gotta make a sacrifice. We don't get gas or you have to do your own thing to get children in school.
Yeah, that's another issue. All the other areas, Alaki and such like that, transportation.
Transportation, we have none. Every parent gotta make a sacrifice. And for a day, you want to get gas to get a children in school and come back. Cause like this by here, you gotta come collect battery lunch in nursery. So you gotta collect back lunch, then you gotta go back for them afternoon. You understand? Very difficult.
Now, with regards to the school itself, anything like how y'all is self-help, you maintain the school?
Well, they got like she just do one thing. Like she does get a grant and just buy the little pies. But every time she go collect the grant money, you don't even know. Well, you can't know what the grant money is. But every time she go collect the grant money, she use the PTA money for she get transportation. You understand?
Okay.
It's, transportation wise, like we want.
Yeah.
If the government can help, like Alaki got the engine and boat.
How much here in Alaki got there?
Alaki must have about 15.
Makora got like how much you have?
Makor, me doubt whether Makor got 10.
And how much here in at LANABALLI?
LANABALLI got money 30, 35. And every parents got to do that thing like that. Like Murshi only got 5.
And they got a boat?
They got boat. Alaki got boat. Well, Makor them got boat from Region 7.
Okay.
Saksakali. Well, they got boat yet. What? Right wrong about people go wrong like that.
Now, Balaram, we're in your midst here there now, right? And what you think or what would you call on, for LANABALLI?
The minister must do something. This place here never see a president. From board like we never hear about it. One time a president ever visit Mr. Scott resident and because of we vote for Ramadan. And for then we never hear about what president or see a president or nothing.
So what you were saying too now is that LANABALLI, you got a lot of people living at LANABALLI, more than the other areas?
Yeah, far more than the other areas. But if we got a PTA meeting, the head teacher never tell nobody that he got a PTA meeting, that people coming from outside. Like minister, any education officer come, no, you don't hear nothing but anything. Everything just negative.
Okay.
We call upon the minister and the ministry them for coming and we got a lot of issues here, let me discuss it as fast as possible. The chairman tell me that our next 2 weeks we're going to visit back here with the minister. Well, we hopefully, we don't got a date, we don't know nothing.
Well, there you had it. LANABALLI is crying out for visits from the relevant authorities and the powers that be for the situation where education is concerned here. They're calling for visitation to discuss issues and more of our solutions and putting solutions in place.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, Balaram, before we go, I would like to know from you why it is now that persons or qualified persons are not staying at LANABALLI or are not being given the opportunity, qualified persons, to teach.
The teacher have so much contact with the Reno. She can make a phone call and do everything what she needs. Understand? But she can make a decision with the reno. Maybe not this reno, but the previous one before.
So that's what's going on here.
Exactly. And now teacher come here. Imagine they can't even stop in the schoolhouse. She put them on, they can't stop. And because the teacher was the teacher who she would have got people below. You understand, me a lower level. But she wants to like that.
And with that, we come to the end of this feature presentation highlighting the issues and concerns of the residents of the LANABALLI community located in the Essequibo River, Region 3. This was also a plea on their behalf to the powers that be that are in both the labor and educational sectors for a speedy enforcement of urgently needed rectifications and solutions being had for them, in that basically all would be in the best interest for the future of the children of the LANABALLI community. Thanking you in anticipation, as I also conveyed my continued best personal regards to you all. Goodbye.